Hey everyone, I was on a literature forum recently and noticed that people were still talking about these Penguin Classic 80th anniversary little black book editions, which were issued a few years ago for the 80th anniversary of Penguin. And the kind of main selling point of these editions is that they were 80p each, of course, if you live in the UK. So about, I don't know, US conversion, yeah, around 80 cents each. Now, I was able to get my hands on a few of these, and I actually rather like them. I know some people think that they're sort of kind of a novelty item, which I guess they are. If you try to buy them in the United States or have them shipped over here or whatever, they're usually, I think I normally paid like $3 a piece for each of these. But even though you don't get much material in them, I still kind of like them. And I like them because it sort of harkens back to Penguin's original founding idea, which when the founder of Penguin founded Penguin, the concept was that the company should be able to produce books and sell mass market paperbacks for about the cost of a pack of cigarettes. So a very inexpensive book, kind of cheap, that you could just buy for a relatively low cost and just take with you if you're going on the train or traveling, or really just anything else. That was sort of part of the reason that I got into, I collected a handful of these. I think I have half a dozen here. And I like a few things about them. I mean, you kind of have to go out of the way to get your hands on them these days because they don't really sell them in stores since they're a UK item primarily. But you know what I like about them is, you know, they're not particularly sturdy. The paper quality is not that really good. And you know, even though they were billed as being 80 pence, when you buy them in the United States, they're several dollars still, which is still not very expensive. They're kind of nice to have because you can just sort of throw them in your pocket. For things like poetry, that's actually, I think, ideal, because I don't know about you, but when I do read poetry, I like to do it outside typically. So that's actually why I really like the Everyman's Classic Pocket Editions, is that you can just kind of take them wherever with you. And so that's why these are really nice, is that you can literally just put them in your back pocket and they're tiny. And the cost is not prohibitive. They're not really fancy items. They're not really meant to be considered that way, I don't think. But I don't know why people, it seems like people get irate at them for some reason, because they think it's just sort of a, I don't know, maybe a tacky marketing thing on Penguin's behalf, but I don't really feel that way. I actually kind of like them. I thought about buying more of them, but since the anniversary, it's been a few years now. I think when I looked recently, they had become a little more expensive, or they're a little harder to find, and so I didn't really see the point of pursuing to get more than the amount that I got. I know that they also did a kind of box set where you could buy a whole bunch of them. I think there was something like 100 of them because they all have numbers on the back. So Whitman is number 10, Wilfred Owen is number 50. And I actually don't think that this is necessarily the first time that Penguin has done something like this. I picked up this kind of odd copy of a Dostoevsky novella, or a short story, however you want to call it. That was part of Penguin's 60s classics. So I don't know. I think there's not really much information in here about this, but it looks like Penguin, since this was in the 90s, this may have been released by Penguin. Penguin may have done something similar 20 years ago for the 60th anniversary, though the price on here says USA 95 cents. And I think I got this at the Strand bookstore in New York City a long time ago, or a while back, and it kind of looks like it has a blood stain on there. I read it one day on the train out to Coney Island, and I don't remember much about it. So final verdict, if you are in the market for one of these, I would recommend getting them. I mean, they're kind of a cool little thing to have. You know, you can kind of just take them with you, throw them in your pocket, and read them wherever you want. And I think the people who get all worked up about these as like a marketing ploy or whatever, I think you guys need to just kind of chill out and just let people enjoy what they want to enjoy. I would recommend them for sure. I would particularly recommend them for poetry, I think is what I'm trying to say, is since I believe that poetry is best enjoyed on the move. Until next time, see you around.